Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Stone. Salutations to you, Akim, out there pushing this word in all sincerity and all truth, right? Doing the work of the Lord, building the house of David, the tabernacle of David in these times. This is today is January 15, 2019, the year of Charagma, right? And this lesson is gonna be about bringing out some updates, on the year of Charagma, updates on the cashless society and the microchip implant, the RFID microchip implant, which is the mark of the beast written off in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, which we've been pushing and will continue to push until the end of this society. Right, so I'm just gonna bring out a few articles and then touch on a few precepts. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect out there, and to the elect who are slated, who are predestined to hear this word. May they be moved and exhorted, and warned against this mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. So we're starting with this first article here from the Moscow Times, and it was written on January 7th, so less than a week ago. It says United Russia official tabbed for microchip implant experiment. So it says the future is here, and it is less than 4,000 kilometers east of Moscow. A Siberian ruling United Party official reportedly plans to volunteer for an experiment in which he will insert a microchip into his skin containing, among other information, his credit card. Right? So this is the idea, yo. This is exactly what the idea is. To replace your payment cards, your credit cards, your debit cards, whatever it is, with this RFID microchip, yo. Right? Not only that, simple things like your train ticket, simple things like opening and closing doors, but we're specifically focusing on using it for payments, yo, because that's how the scripture describes it, yo. Using it for payment. So it says the official, right, who also, let me read from top again. It says a Siberian ruling United Party official reportedly plans to volunteer for an experiment in which he will insert a microchip into his skin containing, among other information, his credit card. So that means he will use it to do what? To purchase things, right? Buy and sell, right? Jumping down to this paragraph, it says it functions as a bank card, right? Buy and sell again. An electronic key to access university buildings, and a troika transport card, which is more likely a train, which is used in Moscow. It says the press service did not say when the experiment is scheduled to kick off. Right, so let's move on to the next article. I'll post the articles in the description box so brothers can read the entirety, but I'm just going through and reading the most important points. Right, so the point is that this Russian official is gonna get implanted with a microchip that contains, among other information, his credit card. Right, next up on the list is fortune.com. It says is biochipping a good idea? And it was posted on January 8, 2019. So it says the incredible promising business behind people injecting themselves with microchips. Bye-bye keys, password, tickets, they're all on the chip. Right? So there's a point on it that I wanted to bring out. So it's going into the microchip revolution that's going on over there in Sweden. People by the thousands are taking this microchip. Right? But there's a part of it that I wanted to bring out. Here we go. So it's in this paragraph here. It says Oysterland Biohacks is already making progress on a small scale. It has chipped more than 4,000 people in Sweden as well as others across Europe. Though many biochip projects are focused on health uses, like heart rate or blood sugar monitoring, Oysterland is so far marketing his chips to people with no medical ailments. Applications range from making purchases, right? Buying or selling, making purchases, to opening locks, to passing through security barriers. Anything really that we're already doing with chips on plastic cards, which is credit card, debit card, payment. So he said tech will move into the body. I am sure of that. Right? That's pretty much what I wanted to bring out here. That's the main part. I mean, you can read the entirety of the article, but the main point is just to show you that these chips are not just used for housing your medical history or opening and closing doors. It's also being pushed for monetary transactions, right? But in order for us to move over fully to that microchipping, all right, to the RFID microchip being the main avenue for payments, we have to first move over to a cashless society. So the next few articles are going to be focused just on that. So this is from the New Scientist, right? And it was posted on January 9, 2019. China is showing the rest of the world how to build a cashless society. Mobile payment services are seeing growth, explosive growth in China, where apps like Alipay and WeChat Pay let people do everything from paying bills to booking a taxi. China is rapidly becoming a thing. Cash, Salakia, is rapidly becoming a thing of the past in China. Consumers have abandoned banknotes in favor of paying with their phones in unprecedented numbers, and this vision of a cashless society or a cashless economy could well be the future throughout the world. The country isn't alone in rejecting coins and notes. Sweden leads the world as the most cashless nation as a percentage of GDP, but its pace of change is accelerating. Since 2013, China has experienced the highest growth in in the number of cashless society, of cashless transactions, Slovakia. Right? So this is the World Payment Report, and it gives you non-cash markets and trends. Non-cash transaction grows highest in emerging Asia. Right? So it tells you that Asia is the most fast growing. Right? So that's pretty much the basic that I want to bring out, that China and Sweden are leading the way into this cashless future. Right? This is also another article from the Japan Times, and it was posted on, let me see if I can find the date. It was posted, I know it was recently. Alright, so it's less than a week ago. I'm sure of it. It's less than a week ago. Alright, so it says, Eagles announces plan to make Rakuten Saimai Park, Miyagi, world's first cashless stadium. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles want you to leave your cash at home. The Pacific League Club late last week unveiled a plan to make its home stadium, I'm not going to say that name again, completely cashless in 2019. The Eagles say it will be the first such stadium. The cashless movement has been going forward around the world, and there are countries where cashless payments are used more than cash. Right? Having success with its QR code service, Rakuten Pay, the Eagles have decided to take the plunge and attempt to go completely cashless at their ballparks. Fans will be able to purchase tickets, foods, and goods with Rakuten Pay, which allows for payment through smartphones, and Rakuten Eddy, a prepaid smart card, as well as credit cards. Right? So of course the next step from this is what? Chipping, right? Chipping. Using the chip to do what? Using the chip as your credit card to make payments. All right, last article before we go into some scriptures. The banks jump into cashless payments with Paynet's real-time platform, and this is from the Edge Markets, and it was posted January 11th, 2019, year for Charagma. The Malaysian banking sector has hopped on board the cashless bandwagon with Payment Networks Malaysia SDN BHD's Paynet implementation of the real-time retail payments platform, setting in place the foundation to accelerate the growth of cashless payments in the country. Right? So again, I'll post the article in the description so brothers can read it. Right? So it's just this video is just giving you some updates as to what's happening on the cashless front, and also on the RFID microchip front as it relates to cashless payments. As we get the updates, we'll push it out. This is Isaiah chapter 62:6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence. We can't keep silent. Why? Because there are so many different developments going on in the news, right? So many different updates. the elect have to be updated, yo. There's so much information to bring out, right? Give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. So we're doing this until what? Until Yahweh, right, through his son Yahweh Shai and his whole angels come back for his elect to make Jerusalem, which is the people and also the place, a praise in the earth once more, right? This is Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. So a watchman is a sentinel. So we are a guard that's posted at our post, and we're watching to see the things that are happening in the society, right? One of the main things that we're watching to see is the implementation of the RFID microchip fully, right, and mandatorily, right? So we have to watch the development and push it out into the public so the elect can be aware. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. So that's what we're doing, yo. We're giving you warning that, hey, these things are coming to pass, yo. Psalms chapter 140 and verse 5. The proud, which is talking about Esau, right, and these nations, following after the spirit of Esau. The proud have hid a snare for me, and cords. They have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me, Salah. So, because this cashless society, this whole digital economy and digital identification, your digital personality profile, and ultimately the implementation of the RFID microchip is a snare. It's a gin, right? It's set to trap you, to own you, right? That's what it's about. So the proud have said a snare, right? The people in India right now are complaining, and people all over the world are gonna complain, when they realize that their privacy is a thing of the past. When they realize that government regulation is at an all-time high, and that there's no more any limits to what the government can do and the amount of information that the government can harvest, right? And the level of control that the government will have. So this is a snare that's being set around our people, slowly moving in, right? Starting with this idea of a cashless economy, right? And moving closer and closer in, right? Making all your transactions be done on a digital platform so that they can be monitored, and ultimately chipping you, right? Chipping you to make you owned, right? And finally, of course, we're going to bring out the legendary, Revelation chapter 13 verse 16, and he called it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. That mark, again, we keep pushing out, is the RFID microchip, that Charagma, right, that will be forcibly implemented, that now is voluntarily being implemented. People are taking it by the thousands, but it will soon be forcibly implemented, when this net is properly set around you, right? So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying to the elect. Kalalal Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Shalom.